Welcome everybody. We're hanging out in Tokyo. It's the morning here. In Japan, it's like approaching 6 a.m. I guess. And I'm currently in Shinjuku. I actually stayed out past the trains again, despite all my better judgment. And I stayed over in a net cafe last night. So that's kind of a fun aspect of being in Japan, is that you could just stay at one of these 24-hour net cafes and sleep in it. And it's like pretty comfortable too. It's like a private room, and you're kind of like not disturbed. It's a great option for like if you're out, you get stuck when you can't you can't get on the train. So let's see if we can get on a train, maybe head over to Akihabara or something, get some breakfast maybe. Yeah, it's pretty early here right now. You can see that there's like nobody out, and I think it's garbage day because all the trash is out on the street for people to pick up, for the garbage people to pick up. Okay, so let's check Google Maps and see where we actually want to go. Shinjuku Station, I don't know how to get to by heart yet, I guess I would say. Let's see. Akihabara. What's that place called that we go to? Gigo? We'll go to that area, I guess. So Gigo itself is not open until 10 o'clock, but we'll head in that direction. And depending on how crowded the train station is, I may end the stream before we get actually on the train, because again, it's like not really good etiquette to film on the train if there's like people on it. So we want to go this way? Or are we trying to get to entrance number B3? I think if I go there and cut over, you can't really tell though. Thank you to 5th Gen Creations for the follow, by the way. I didn't see your follow earlier. As always with the chat, ladies and gents, the chat sort of comes and goes for me, and it deletes itself, so it may or may not appear on my side. That photo took. Sometimes my phone will just like not take the photo, will like the shutter will close, or the camera's depiction of a shutter closing happens, and then it just like doesn't take the photo. It's like my phone is slow or something. It's so fascinating to see Shinjuku in the early morning, like before the sun rises, and now the sun's like starting to rise, because this is really like the nightlife, one of the nightlife districts. So like all the sort of like refuse of partying is out in this really, really early time, but like nobody's here, because this is kind of like the area that you go to after work to go out to the bar. Like you don't really come here in the morning. There, any place is going to be a little bit dead in the morning, but Shinjuku especially is like spooky in the morning because of how unlike itself it looks. Let's check where we're going. Okay, so we want to go up that way and to the right. Let's maybe get a cup of coffee at Family Mart. Hang tight. Readyで大丈夫ですか？多分ファミチキとラージのコーヒーお願いします。
おかげさま、おかげさま。
すいません。すいません。彼らは呼んでいました。
ありがとうございます。
ありがとうございます。ありがとうございます。Oh, we did a good deed. She almost forgot her stuff that she bought. We got the funny chiki, which is karaage.何かノトラがありますか？これ。They call a stir a muddler in Japan, which I just found out this trip. りがとうございます。Oh, it's getting light outside. Nice. Let's sit next to this stoop here and drink our coffee. Nice, crisp morning in Tokyo. Oh, welcome Ross Ferry to the show. Happy Thanksgiving. It's also been a year today since I came to LA. Oh, wow. So you came on Thanksgiving last time to LA? Welcome, Frostberry. Jen, hope you're a good person going after her. Thank you. New York's finest are the real heroes here. Acting like Spider-Man or something. I'm glad I was able to do something though. It would be really embarrassing too if I misunderstood the situation. You know, like I'm glad I actually knew what was going on. Because if I like chased that person down and like told her like, you know, these guys are calling you, and then it turned out that they were like calling me instead, that would have been really embarrassing. Ross saying it was Thanksgiving at Universal Studios. Wow. Good memories, I am sure, from that trip. Except for the driving part, I guess, right? You were saying that you didn't like the driving aspect. Welcome, guys, to the show. Yeah, it's American Thanksgiving. I'm up this early because I was actually I was trying to make a point to call my family, when they would be eating Thanksgiving dinner in the US. So in Japan, it was like 5:30 a.m., but over there it was, like 3:30 p.m. They were gonna eat some Thanksgiving food. Got some family chicken. So the real thing that you do in Japan, which I didn't know about, so they give it to you like this, and I never do it, but so let's recreate this. So this is how the bag was, right? It was taped shut. This is a really cool idea. So like the bag is perforated, so you're actually opening the chicken so that it's, you can eat it like that, and it's, handheld. It's a great idea. It's like made to be eaten from the bag. Jenna's saying, I'm so hungry, but I can't eat properly at the moment. Crossing, I miss it in the plane ride. Oh, and the plane ride is bad. You hate flying. Oh, man. That is, going to Tokyo, it's kind of rough if you run out of things to do. Luckily, I work remote, so I just bring my work with me, and I can get some stuff done, and then I bring a book. But after a while, it's like you've done all this stuff and you've done that stuff, and you're like, what else do I have to do? And you look at the thing and it says there's like 5 hours left in the flight, and it's like, oh, geez. But yeah, luckily I don't really mind flying. I actually I think it's kind of peaceful. Famichiki. Not the best convenience store karaage I've had. Jen is saying I'm so sick, so struggle to eat anything as it makes me cough. Oh, that's what you meant by eat properly. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Jen. Yeah, feel better. Let's try and open this coffee without spilling it. Yes, did it. You can see that it's garbage day because all the trucks are out grabbing stuff. It's really interesting because Tokyo doesn't use dumpsters. Actually, at least not anywhere I've seen. So all the garbage is just left on the sidewalk. And for a few hours, it looks like just a post-apocalypse, or it's just like all this like piles of refuse on the ground. But then very swiftly they all come through, and the streets, as you can see here, the street is like immaculate. Oh, Frost has been playing Dreamlight Valley and Pokemon Violet, and Jen's been playing Death Stranding, as you can sit still. Oh, there you go. What sort of stranding activities have you been doing, if you don't mind my asking? Frost saying, oh, Jen, it's the first proper cold or flu of the year. Okay, so it's not like you took a test and everything, that you made sure that it's not like a COVID situation. Ross saying if that's the case, I read and play my Switch and watch Netflix movies. Yeah, that's, it is interesting because there is a lot to do on a plane as long as you're kind of prepared. But even if not, they give you all those great movies to watch on the like little TV screen thing. Somebody in front of me was doing an Office, the Office marathon, so I was watching over, through the middle of the seat a little bit. Dreamlight Valley, I still am interested to like actually look into, because I checked it, a little bit when you mentioned it, but it sounds cool. And Pokemon, I don't know anything about it. That just kind of snuck up on me. Somebody here I was talking to about that game. It's violet and what's the other color? Some kind of reddish color, right? Oh, Scarlet, right. Jen's been building, doing tons of deliveries, forcing to continue the story. Oh, weather station. Okay, yeah. That's a good description of. It's funny because, yeah, it's the same for me, where it's like I have to force myself to get into the story missions because I would just do all the side quests forever in that game. There's so many. It's funny, like every time you get to a destination, you come up with ideas of like, maybe I could haul this thing back this way and this thing back that way. We were talking about that a little bit, where it's like a game that creates so many interesting logistical problems, where it's like, if I'm going in this direction, I got to make sure that I have these things with me, and I want to carry, that stuff, because I'm going to be passing this guy or whatever. It's such a great game. It's really, there's nothing like it. There's nothing that exists that is like it, and that you can't say that about almost anything. Ross saying I love the game, and there's a new update for Toy Story coming next month. Wow, that's a good one to have in there. Yeah, that game I had totally never heard of. That was just like, when you mentioned that, was the first time that I ever heard anybody say anything about it. I guess I'm just not like in the loop anymore. And I just hadn't heard anything about it. That's awesome. That's a nice surprise, to be like, wow, this game is, somebody's making it, and it turns out it's already been made. That's like a really good, good surprise. All right, so let's let me put my mask back on. The level of like mask saturation here is extremely high, like mask usage. It's basically like if you're not directly eating or drinking something, you have it on. Like if you're at a restaurant, you're sitting there, like your mask is on. Like before the food comes, like your mask is on. Well, let's say for most. the exception that proves the rule, the guy in front of us. But I've been really like kind of, it's this thing where it's like you're kind of like when in Rome, do as the Romans do. Like in the US, I don't wear the mask that much. Like the US customs, the American custom is kind of like, if there's nobody near you, you don't really wear a mask because it's like, why do it? But in Japan, there's this kind of like, I guess it's some kind of like sort of like discipline or something, where they will do things that aren't necessary in that moment, but it's just like a good habit, so like if there's like a crosswalk and it says don't cross on the light, and there's no cars coming, like nobody will cross. It's like, you know, like in New York, it'll be like everybody's just crossing even when there are cars coming. But in Japan, it's like this kind of like very strict discipline that they have, which I kind of envy. And I guess it's the same with the masks, where they like wear them all the time just because that's, you know, what you should be doing in their eyes. Which I'm just saying, it's so clean though. Exactly, yeah. And that's also part of the sort of Japanese, you know, discipline. So hold on, where's this station here? B12, I kind of missed it. Where the heck was it? Okay, it's on this street. Okay. Again, if it ends up that the train station is kind of like full of people, which it might be because it's like 7 a.m. now on a Friday, so people are probably going to work, we should probably call the show when I get to the station, for that reason, because I don't want to like film a train full of people. Marunouchi line. What line are we taking here? The JB line. Shinjuku Station. So that's Shinjuku Station. Let's just go to Shinjuku Station. We got to be able to get to it by going in there. That statue, I don't know if you can see that. That statue looks like the thing from Dead Space. The like twisting, you know, the monument or whatever they called it. All my things are being proven wrong right here. I was saying downloadable only. It's an early release, so they're releasing updates slowly. Yeah, I guess since it's early access, they can't put out a disc of it, but is it always going to be downloadable only, or will they'll probably sell a physical copy once it comes out for real. It's so crazy that there's nobody here. Let's take a sip of coffee. Oh, there's that movie that I saw, and the book that we bought yesterday. The Suzume no To Shimari. So that was a big life milestone for me, where I literally did that thing that everybody always aspires to, which is like, I watched the anime without subtitles. Like, I went to the Japanese movie theater and saw this, which is like, I've never really sort of like, I'm not that big of an anime fan or whatever. That wasn't really my objective in learning. But it was definitely a moment for me where I was like, this is like a profound sort of language learning thing for me. Of not just watching the movie, but rather watching it and not feeling lost. You know, like actually understanding the movie. So it's the new, here it is. Oh, well, not anymore, I guess. Oh, the guy's playing the soundtrack from it. But it's the new movie from the guy who did Your Name and Weathering With You. I guess it's coming out next year in the United States. And since it wasn't out, I was like, this is a perfect movie to watch because it's like an exclusive thing, you know? I won't be able to see it in the US when I go back. Crossing, it's like Animal Crossing? Yeah, that's what it seemed like to me. Sort of like an Animal Crossing, sort of Stardew Valley. The name definitely evokes that as well. Oh, Jenna's saying, cool, I love your name of Weathering With You. Yeah, if you like, I haven't seen your name, but I've seen Weathering With You, and I like that one. And if you like that, then you'll definitely like this as well. It's a very charming and weird movie. Also with those like great depictions of the city, like that movie had. Okay, so we're going... We're trying to go to... This is 1316, but we want to go to... Oh no, those are the track names. Oh, I'm breaking the cardinal rule here. I'm drinking my coffee while I'm walking. You can hear some of the theme songs for the stations. Except for Akihabara, yeah. It's definitely worth checking out. I would believe it. It's up my alley for sure, so I would love to play it. Yeah. And that's one of those games too that you could probably just like put on any time, like Animal Crossing, where it's like, it's just nice to be in that world, you know? Okay. It doesn't look that crowded. I think we'll call it anyway though, because I don't want to... You never really know, you know, like at the next station it might get really crowded. So let's close out the show. Thanks for joining, ladies and gents. I will see you on the next one. And have a great day. We're going to have more content from Tokyo. I'm still here for another week, so plenty of stuff to watch. And yeah, bye bye.